Hi there, I'm the book lady, and boy am I glad that you came by today. I brought 2 books, which is what I do. The book lady brings 2 books, we read them and talk about them. Well, these are very different books. Trust me on that. This one is called Click, Clack, Moo Cows That Type. I'm not kidding, see? Doreen Cronin wrote this book, and I have a little story behind this. A little girl, I think she might be in 5th grade, told me, "Oh, please, will you do this, book lady? I love to watch Book Lady, and I think all your viewers will love this book. It's a very silly book, and it makes you laugh, and I think you're going to like this one." Now, the other book, Home in the Woods by Eliza Wheeler. And she wrote this story, but she also did all the illustrations, the pictures. And they are beautiful pictures in here. And this book, the thing is about this book, she wrote this book based on her great-grandmother. So it's a true story. Yeah. Now, it's no one famous, but I read it and I feel it's an important story because it's about an important period of time in our history. And it's called the Great Depression. And your great-grandparents grew up during that time, and they could probably tell you some very good stories about that time. It was financial, that means money. People didn't have any. So they were having to learn to do things without the money. See? So Home in the Woods. Very interesting story, and you're going to like it very much. And in fact, I think we're going to start with it. Home in the Woods. This is my family. Now, will you look at that? Their mother, and I think there are, let me count them. I think they're 12, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 children there. And I love the way she said, "This is me." That's her great-grandmother. Dad lives with the angels now, and we need to find a new home. See, their father died, and because there's no money, they had to leave their home. She divides this book into the 4 seasons: summer, spring, fall, and winter. Summer. Deep in these woods, we find a shack, all wrapped in tar paper. That's a black paper that won't get wet. It's hot outside, but the shack looks cold and empty, kind of like how I feel inside. You'll never know what treasures we'll find, says Mom. In the shack, we don't see any treasures. Wooden table, empty crates, rusty oven, dusty shelf, potbelly stove, and box springs. But Lowell and Eva find a door in the floor. Below is a root cellar filled with old glass jars, a tin pail, a pile of rags, and a pitcher pump that goes up and down, and out comes a stream of cool, clear water. "Oh, this place will do fine," says my big brother Ray. "But it doesn't seem like much of a home to me." Outside, The ground is a blanket of rotting leaves. Dal and Bee dig underneath to find soft, dark, rich soil. The seeds from our old garden can go here, says Bee. When the crystal rains fall, our seeds slowly take root. Some treasures take a little time, says Mom. The songs of happy frogs echo through the trees. The woods are a tangle of birch, poplar, pine, and sugar maple. Those are all different kinds of trees. Marv finds the secret paths of white-tailed deer woven all around. See, they just thought they were scrubby old woods, but they're actually kind of fun. The paths lead us to a twisting trout creek, an empty beaver lodge, and a blooming berry patch with sweet jewels of blue and red. Ooh, berries. It looks like raspberries and blueberries. We fill our pail, Marv's hat, Ray's bag, and Lowell fills his empty belly. Our laughter echoes through the trees. Things are looking better. Autumn. Cool winds come and spice up the air and fill it with rust and ruby leaves. Mom walks into town to do chores for pay. See, she helps people out and they pay her. So we take care of chores at the shack. Rich writes them on paper slips that we draw from a hat. Split wood, hang clothes, pull weeds, pick veggies, wash up, sweep some. Boy, everybody has a chore. We fill the glass jars with Mom's berry preserves and the harvest from our garden. We'll save them for winter and stack them in the cellar like buried treasure. See, down in the root cellar, it's dark and cool, so things will last longer, almost a little bit like a refrigerator. When we need more supplies, we head to Bennett's General Store. The windows are full of marvelous things. Catalog dresses, pearly sweets, shiny tools, wind-up toys. But Mom's chore money can only buy some basics. Baking flour, soap flakes, and lamp oil. We say nothing at all on the long walk home. See, they don't have a car, so they have to walk to the store and buy the basics and walk home. Back at the shack, we invent a new game. General Store. We can buy anything we want. Rich is the banker. Marv pumps gas. Bee sells fine hats. Lowell is the jeweler. And I display mud sweets. How about that? Our laughter echoes through the trees once again. Winter. Ooh, the days are dark and bitter winds blow. Ray and Marv trek out to hunt for food. Bee huddles in the lamp's glow. Mom teaches her that scraps of fabric put together make a colored patchwork. Ooh. I huddle by the warm stove. Rich teaches me that letters, put together make words. And words put together make stories. Well, what do you know? Most days, Ray and Marv return from their hunt with nothing at all. But tonight, they are proud and tall. We plunder our stores, and Mom works the oven like magic. And look at that. A feast for the kings and queens of the forest, Rich says. And look at that, they are having quite a feast with baked green beans, blueberry pie, soft loaf bread, and wild turkey stew. And look how they wear crowns on their heads. Isn't that nice? Snow falls in a blanket of diamonds all around the shack. The jack pines sway above as we fall asleep close together. But Mom stays awake into the night, whispering to the stars. I think Mom has a sadness about her. She is missing her husband, the father of her children. Spring. After many months, warm, fresh air comes pouring into the shack. The cottonwoods are all in bloom. Me and Bee carry Mom's loaf bread and blueberry jam to the neighbor's farm. They fill our pail with milk and our hat with golden eggs. That's the way it worked. People didn't have money. So you took one thing over and they gave you something you needed. People helped each other out. We go slow and careful on the path home. Bee calls out the flowers' names. Wood violet, dwarf iris, pink lady's slipper, pitcher plant. Oh, the songs of happy birds echo through the trees. Here, in these woods, I find my brothers, my sisters, our mom, and me, Marble. The shack, all wrapped in tar paper, looks different now. Warm and bright and filled up with love, like I feel inside. So we went through the 4 seasons. Do you remember when she first got to that shack? They found this shack in the woods. Nobody was living there. And she felt empty and cold inside. She's looking, oh, we have to live here? And we got through a year, and guess what? She was feeling full of love. Because it really wasn't about the house. It was about the family and what they brought to the house. Yeah, love and excitement and learning. They learned a lot. I think this is an important book, and I'm just so glad I got to read this to you today. You think about this. We'll talk about it, but next we're going to read the silly book. Click, Clack, Moo Cows That Type. Do you know what type is? Yeah. All right, let's see about this one. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long he hears click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. At first, he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type? Impossible. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety-clack, moo. Then he couldn't believe his eyes. Look at that. There's a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. It was bad enough the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they wanted electric blankets? No way, said Farmer Brown. No electric blankets. So, what happened? The cows went on strike. They left a note on the barn door. Yes, they did. Sorry, we're closed. No milk today. No milk today, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. The next day, you got it, he got another note. Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. I'm telling you, these cows. The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a new note on the barn door. I don't believe this. Closed. No milk, no eggs. Do you see that? There's the note. No eggs, cried Farmer Brown. And in the background, he heard them. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. Cows that type, hens on strike. Who ever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. Well, Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. Dear cows and hens, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown. Duck was a neutral party, so he brought the ultimatum to the cows. A neutral party means they don't take any sides. The duck doesn't take the farmer's side. The duck doesn't take the hen and cows. He's just taking the message. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop, but none of them could understand moo. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. Duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown a note. Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door and we will send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows. Farmer Brown decided this was a good deal. He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with the typewriter. Well, the next morning, he got a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Click, click, quack. Click, clack, quack. Clickety, clack, quack. Oh my gosh. And this is the fun part. There are no words on the last page, but we know what happened. What does this picture tell you? They got the diving board. They're having fun using it. So the Farmer Brown, he caved. They said the pond is boring and we'd like a diving board. So he gave them a diving board. And he gave the cows and the hens their electric blankets. And this is a crazy book. What did you think of this book? Click, clack, moo. Cows That Type. And I hope that my friend who told me to read this book is watching, because guess what? It really was kind of a funny book. All right, back to Home in the Woods. This woman at the end of the book, she has, well, first of all, she has a little map of the woods. See, it has, let's see, somewhere is the, yeah, here's their shack. Then the paths that go to the different places that they used to like explore and pick their berries, and the creek where they could catch fish. It's all there. I mean, wow. They didn't live in a mansion. In fact, their house really had, it appears it has about one room, maybe two. But they had the world. And they had each other. And this was just, it's such an important book. At the very back is the author's note. Now, you know the author is the person who writes the book, right? And it's Eliza Wheeler. And she writes this note that in the fall of 1932, during the Great Depression, when my grandma Marvel was 6, her family was evicted from their home. Now, evicted means they throw you out. You can't pay your rent, they throw you out. And her father, they moved into this shack, the tar paper shack, deep into the woods. And then he died. So there is, you know, the wife, the mother, and she's left to raise these children. And so she told the story of living in the woods, and they lived there for 4 years. Yeah. So they really knew these woods. The woods were their friends. And there is even a little photograph of the family, of the children. So I just thought this was a beautiful book, but if you compare the first page, see, there they are, off to find somewhere to live. They have no idea where they're going to live, but they can't live in a tent. So here they are. Yeah. And you know, nowadays I think people would look at, oh, I don't want to live there. They don't have a trampoline. Oh, where will I ride my bicycle? They had nothing. See, they had nothing. But as days went by and the weeks went by and the seasons went by, they figured it out. Yeah, they figured it out. Hey, if we move the leaves, ooh, there is some good dirt there, and planted seeds. So they carried what they had with them, and some of what they brought were seeds. Very important. Most people would not think of bringing seeds with them, but the seeds grew for them carrots and potatoes and tomatoes and good stuff to eat. And with each season, things just seem to get better. But then you're thinking, oh, winter can't be good. But it is good. It's beautiful. And they have to stay inside because the snow's deep and it's cold. So she learns to sew. She learns to write and then read and put words together. Very important things to learn. And then her brothers come home with a turkey and they have a feast. So look at, this is the same rundown cottage that they found in the woods. But do these look like sad people? No. It's all in your attitude. And Mom decided that she was going to make wherever they landed be a happy place. A happy, hopeful, helpful place. These children didn't realize that a lot of what they were to become when they were grown-ups, they learned right there in that cabin. The shack. It was a shack. But they learned how to play with each other, invent games. They learned how to make jam from all the berries they could find and put the jam in a jar. They learned about the root cellar. It's a good book, and you would learn a lot, and I hope you enjoyed Home in the Woods. Well, and I also hope you enjoyed Clickety Clack, Moo Cows That Type. Well, not just cows, we also discovered that the hens, where are those hens typing? They're in here. Look at this. Are they crazy? And the pictures are crazy, you got to admit. They're fun. Oh, I'm so glad that you came to see the book lady today. I'm going to the library because I'm going to find 2 more wonderful books. Bring them to you to read, and we'll talk about them for a little bit. Remember, one of the most important things in my wallet is my library card. You can also find the book lady on YouTube. And boy, have we read a lot of books on just about everything. Cows That Type. Here are just some of the books. Oh, we have fun here. I hope you will come back. I'll bring you 2 books. And until the next time, let's type my message to my friends. I'll see you next time, the book lady. Bye-bye.